Hi, I'm Jean from the Back to Block project in the Westchester, New York region for creative writing, and I'm going to be talking about Show Don't Tell. Show Don't Tell is probably a writing tip you've heard before, but what does it mean? Show Don't Tell is a writing technique used to help a reader experience a story through its details rather than a summary or an exposition. Telling is brief and broad and is used to communicate information to readers efficiently, while showing is detailed and more dramatic, used to communicate information to readers emotionally to immerse them in the story. For example, telling would be something like Alex was anxious, and showing could be Alex paced around the room, glancing at his silent phone. His feet started to ache from his brand new dress shoes, but he didn't notice because all he could think about was his job interview. The second one is much longer and more descriptive. Notice that in the second one, I didn't outright say that Alex was anxious, but you could infer it through the details. So, how do you show don't tell? Here are some ways you can show your readers instead of telling. First is through internal dialogue. Telling could be Alex was anxious, and showing could be if only I didn't mess up that last question, the interview would have been perfect. What if I don't get this job because of it? Sarah is going to be so disappointed. Internal dialogue reveals a character's personality and their thought process and makes them seem more real while also revealing information about them that readers wouldn't have known otherwise. Another way you can do it is by adding dialogues or interactions between characters. Telling would be Alex was disappointed that he didn't get the job, and showing could be, hey, it's okay. I'm sure you'll be able to find another job. Sarah knelt down beside Alex. Besides, I think that they're going to be the ones missing out. Alex weakly smiled. Interactions between characters are a good way to not only show their personalities, but also their relationship and dynamic. Another way is describing their characters or their actions. Telling would be Sarah wept, and showing could be Sarah crumpled to the floor. Tears flowed down Sarah's cheeks as a lump in her throat choked her. Because it's more descriptive, it helps the readers to relate to the characters and become more immersed. Another way is describing the environment. Telling would be Sarah was in a grassy field, and showing would be the seemingly endless field swayed with the wind in rolling waves of green, the tall grass gently tickling Sarah as the hum of buzzing insects interrupted her thoughts. A good description of the setting sets a mood and helps readers to imagine the setting in their head. The next one is connotation of words. Telling could be Alex was a visitor in Sarah's home, and showing would be Alex was a guest in Sarah's home, or Alex was an intruder in Sarah's home. By switching visitor to guest or intruder, you create a more specific tone because the connotations are so different. While they both mean visitor because they have different connotations, guest has a tone of friendliness and intruder has a tone of hostility. The next way you can show don't tell is by using more specific words. Telling could be Alex was hurt from falling, and showing would be Alex's knees throbbed with pain when he collapsed, or ached with pain, or stung with pain. Because hurt is kind of vague, ached, stung, and throbbed is more descriptive and helps readers feel what Alex might have gone through. Specific words lead to specific feelings in readers. So you might be wondering, when should I use it? The thing is, you don't always want to use show don't tell, because if it becomes too excessive, the writing might drag on and become boring or sound unnatural and wordy. In boring moments of the story, you don't want to drag it out more than you need to. For example, you might want to just tell your readers about a time skip if nothing happens during it. But in important and interesting moments, you want to show your readers because it's a section of your writing that you want to emphasize. The important thing is that you want a good mixture of both. And you can kind of achieve this by reading over your writing. If it's too drawn out, you can tell your reader about unimportant sections, and if no section is standing out, then you can show your readers what you want them to notice. If you don't notice anything the first time you read it, it's okay. It might be useful to have someone else look over it or come back to it later to have a fresh pair of eyes look at your writing. Good luck on writing and thank you for watching. Make sure to follow us on our Facebook and Instagram page at Back to Bach Project.